During the 1970s, when the Cardinals were not playing their best, there was a professional team playing the game on the Diamond in Valley Park that garnered fans' attention. They played in the International Women's Softball Association. They were called the Hummers, short for Hummingbirds. Not only were they one of the best in the league and World Series bound, but they also became an inspiration to young girls across the region. How popular were they? For 3 years, the team led the league in attendance. While we have 11 of them with us in the audience, let's welcome to the stage to tell about their great moment in the sun, Linda Wells.
We're ready to go now in the bottom half of inning number 1. Vicki Schneider, the shortstop in this game tonight, defensively. There's a shot of the boomer, Nancy Nelson, going back to first. She's the first baseman. Nancy Fidesz at second. Sue Heiner is at third base. Charlene Sennewald in left. Pat Ginsler center. Debbie Zoss right field. Margie Wright is the pitcher. Carol Myers is the catcher. Charlene Sennewald will start it off tonight for the Hummers.
Last night, you'd think maybe they'd go back to Vicki Schneider leading off, but no, Charlene leads off.
She hit that one in the gap. Let's see if she'll go for 2. She stops at first. 4th hit in the series. 4 for 12 now for Charlene Sennewald, and that's the way it starts for the Hummers. And Carol Myers at the plate against Margaret Rebenar. Ground ball, right field, base hit. 1 run is in for St. Louis. The other runner has to hold. A great throw from right field by Adi Kuyala. Runners at first and third now. It's a 4-1 game.
So you may wonder why I'm back up here. Earl mentioned it. A couple of guys have talked full circle here. This is my first gig, was St. Louis Hummer softball. And nobody could be luckier to have that kind of job to start your career. So in fact, one of my very best friends in life, Steve Wood, is here. He claims he was here for me, but I know he was here to see the Hummers because he did the games with me back in 77 and 78. So this is Linda Wells, great catcher, and I think maybe more importantly, Linda, leader of that team, and it was a really good team.
It was a really great team. The Hummers are out there. You're going to meet them in just a second, but yeah, we were so excited to become a professional team and to represent St. Louis, city of St. Louis.
So we're talking about the late 70s, right? There are no women's team sports, period. No pros.
No pros.
There are no pros. Oh, you
First
got
pros.
golf and tennis, right? But no team sports. Title IX had just come in a few years ago. And in fact, one of the Hummers pitchers, the second year in 78, Linda, Donna Lopiano, was really one of the architects of Title IX. And I'm this dumb, long-haired kid out of college, and she's explaining to me why Title IX is important and why women's athletics is important. I learned so much those 2 years from all of you.
And I'm pretty sure if Donna was explaining, you were listening.
Oh, I was listening.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Donna Lopiano was a 4-time, 16-time All-American at 4 different positions on the field. Donna Lopiano, one of the great players to play in the league.
And so, in light of that, tell me about, because I'm sure it was a bunch of different adventures and ways to bring this group together in St. Louis for a new league. How did that go for you?
Yeah, well, I'm going to back up just a little bit because when I was 7, I thought I was going to replace Kenny Boyer at third base. And then I kind of realized maybe it wasn't going to go that way, you know? I also want to give credit to all of you that are still sitting out there, and thank you so much. And I know that you are probably tired, but not as much as my mom. She's 97 over here. Yeah, how about that? But I do want to acknowledge all the inductees tonight, and certainly thank the St. Louis Hall of Fame for the honor that they're bestowing on our Hummer team. And you know, the reality is women were playing the game since it was invented in the late 1800s, and by the 30s there was women's major softball that was drawing big crowds and was very popular in the States. And probably most of you have seen League of Her Own, the movie, right? And that's where those players came from. They came from the women's major game. The path, probably for myself as well as my teammates that are coming up here in a second, wasn't really simple. However, for women, girls our age, didn't really have often opportunity to compete. And so we were the fortunate ones that somehow came to have an opportunity to be engaged. I credit, of course, my family for support that they gave, the opportunity to play with my cousins next door and the boys in the neighborhood and be a part of something. And one of the words that hasn't been mentioned yet, but I think is very important, was the passion that we had, the love to play the game. Never mind the fans, never mind the money, never mind whatever. Most of us had to make great sacrifices, and actually at that time were doing other jobs. I was coaching 3 sports at a Big Ten school, the University of Minnesota, volleyball, basketball, and softball, and making $9,400. We would leave our teaching, our coaching, our teaching, coaching positions, and put everything in a storage unit and go play softball. So when the opportunity came along in 1976, and Billie Jean King and Jane Blaylock and other great women who were already establishing themselves in tennis and golf got together and started the International Professional Softball League, it was like, on the one hand, a dream come true, and on the other, can I make a team? So we set about working hard, and I played my first year in Chicago for the Chicago Ravens. St. Louis didn't have a team the first year of the league. The Ravens folded. I was a St. Louis native and had played women's major here. I started playing at 14 for the St. Louis Browns, by the way, and they were a big team. I also want to mention Kudus, who was a big sponsor of a lot of women's sports in the 70s and 60s before it was really popular to support much in the women's game. So then when Chicago folded, I was part of a dispersal draft to come to St. Louis as a pitcher. And then when catchers were injured, I ended up being a catcher. The last 2 years of the league, I was able to coach the team. And we got together. We're really thankful to be going in tonight because next year will be 50 years since the Hummer team was around. And so we've decided we'll get together next year even if we don't go into something because we had so much fun last night. But anyway, it was magical. It was magical to be a part of the team, and it was magical because it was also shared, and not only did we have to make sacrifice, but our families did, our siblings did, our relatives did, and we had to pull people out. All along the way, we had people around us that believed in us, spent time with us, and brought us to this point in history where we were the first professional women's team in St. Louis, and we're very proud not only of ourselves, but to represent the city of St. Louis and to be so successful in the league.
And
you have another question?
And you were really, the club was really good.
The club was really
We
good.
had, I didn't look this up, so I'll probably miss some people. You and Mattingly catching, Bubblegum Heiner at third, Vicky Schneider at short, Petey Fadea, Nancy Fadea at second.
Are you going to say those names? Why don't they come up here?
Well, they can come up. And Boomer Nelson, Bethel Stout, boy, she could rake.
Right.
Charlie Senewald, and as they come up, we might as well bring them up. Come on up, ladies. But here's the one.
Get up here, Hummers.
Come on, Hummers. So, but here's the one.
The Hummers, right? Let's see them.
Here's the one I want to tell you. Anybody who knows me in my career, I'm a baseball guy. The best ball player I've ever seen, is Patty Gensler. I don't care what gender, what league, what country, Patty Gensler is the best ball player that ever lived. She is the natural. Here, introduce everybody as they come up. You're the best. How are you doing? Good to see you. Boomer! How are you?
This guy. We're just going to shake the mic down. You can stand up if you want. You can sit forever. So we're just going to give your name and what position you play, if you can remember.
Yeah. Charlene Sonowald, and I was known as Charlie and still am. And I was an outfielder, usually left field.
Vicki Schneider, I played shortstop. Nancy Petey Fadea, and I played second base.
They called her Petey because I've never seen this before. Fouled the ball off and hit herself in the eye with the ball and had the big circle black eye, and she was Petey the rest of her career.
Susie Bubblegum Heiner, and I played third base. Susie Heiner Yakel now, but.
Hi, I'm Pat Gensler. I'll pay you that $20 later.
So you got it.
It was best experience of my life. I played center field.
Debbie Mann, I played second base.
Nancy Boomer Nelson, I played first base.
Jody Wells Surig, I was the Batgirl.
I want to say something special about the Batgirl here because when I was a freshman in college at Southeast Missouri State, my sister Jody was born. And so not only did I have the support of my siblings who were in the same age group as myself, but I had the chance to be part of Jody's life growing up, and no one supported the Hummers like Jody. She would make posters. She did everything growing up, and I think got as much or sometimes more out of the experience than our team. And it just was a heartwarming thing for me to be having Jody coming as the next generation who was experiencing women's sports in a different way as professionals. So anyway, and I love you guys. So yeah, we played in the league 4 years. We were in the playoffs every year, and we played in the World Series the last 2 years. It was a very exciting time. We were creating a new history for not only women in sport in St. Louis, but for a team sport. And I invite you to not only look past at all the great players there were in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and we were playing in the 60s and 70s, but also pay attention because here comes 28 and Los Angeles is hosting the Olympic Games, and softball is going to be played in Oklahoma City, and the USA is a very talented team, and they're gifted now because they're being fed not only by players like ourselves who also coached in colleges and the Olympic Games and USA teams and all these other things, but women's sports not only is exploding, but especially so in softball. And before they take this away, because I would just like all the supporters that are here for the Hummers, please stand up so we can say a special thank you to you, our family.
Ladies and gentlemen, not just Pioneers, they were a hell of a ball club. One more time for the Hummers. Stay here for a picture.
Group photo, come on back. Let's put 2 in the chairs.
Go ahead, sit.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yes. All right, we got it.